Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Zoom with New Age Leaders. This is a series of interviews with young leaders who are currently shaping our future. With each episode, we'll be discussing different aspects of leadership, management, and society. I'm your host Abhinav, and I am Bangalore alumni who is working with a fashion retail company managing their merchandising, operations, and business development. As far as passion goes, I love to tell stories through my blogs, YouTube creations, and Toastmaster speeches. Today, we'll be discussing an ancient and yet very modern and pertinent topic of homosexuality in India. Since ages, it was an acceptable part of a society as depicted in our text, paintings, and sculptures. However, with the advent of British Raj, it got criminalized in 1800s. Since then, homophobia is prevalent in India. Centuries later, on September 2018, the Supreme Court of India invalidated the part of Section 377 of Indian Penal Code, hence decriminalizing the homosexuality. As the world celebrates June as LGBT Pride Month to commemorate the Stonewall riots of 1969, let us discuss the issues pertaining to homosexuality in India with our guest Suvam Basak. Suvam is a civil engineer by profession and has been working with NTPC for past 10 years residing in Tier 2 cities of India. He is out and proud gay and as I know him, full of life. He loves traveling, trekking, reading and now cooking. So, let's meet our guest. Hi Suam, you always bring happiness and joy to our lives with your happy-go-lucky attitude. So, let me start with this question. What is the secret of your positivity and happiness? Over to you.
Basically, it comes from within. What I would like to say is that I was lucky enough to be, raised in a family which understood me, and it helped me realize who I am and inculcated values for being true to myself. And I was taught to be independent, taught to be who I am. So that I would say is the basis of my happiness, and I love myself and I cherish being who I am. So for me, like, life is about small bits and pieces of happiness that it gives. And I love to travel. It's my passion: traveling, trekking, cooking. So I try to do things which I like. I love to meet new people, know new cultures. So basically is that I love to do who I am and I treat myself well, and a healthy mind is a source of happiness. So it's like that, I would like to say.
Wow, well said. Now that we have understood the happy part of your personality, let's shift to the element of gay. And could you take us through your journey in short? When did you realize how difficult it was, and maybe what was the most difficult part of it?
uh, the most difficult part of is it to me is self-realization. You need to realize, you need to accept who you are to make others, you know until unless you accept who you really are from inside, it is difficult for others to accept you.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the journey was long. We were born at an age where we did not have internet, we did not have smartphones, we did not have an outlook to a world. We used to live in our own small spheres, in our towns, in our cities. Newspaper or probably the cable TV used to be the only source of information. So when I was a kid, I used to get attracted towards guys, and there was a long phase of self-doubt, long phase of confusion, and you know you tend to lose confidence when you don't realize, when you don't understand what's happening to you, and it sometimes makes you an introvert. I used to be an introvert a lot, and it basically draws you into a cocoon when you don't want to come out to people, when you don't want to discuss with people, when you don't even want to talk to people. And from that phase, then came, it happened in to 19, I think 2002, when the case to decriminalize homosexuality was introduced into the Delhi High Court.
Yeah.
So that was the time when the newspapers in India started reporting something about, what homosexuality is. And that was a time when I really learned, okay, there's a thing called homosexuality or being gay, and men can be with men and women can be with women. So from then came the phase of, I would say, like experimenting or knowing more about it. I was more curious to know what it is and how it is. And yeah, it started like that. It started with that, then came acceptance. So I realized who I was, and I thought, okay, this is what it is, and it's not going to change. So it started with that. But the most important part of it is we are a part of society. We have friends, we have families, and I can't be who I am. If I am not who I am in front of my family, in front of my friends, then I would not be true to myself in some way or the other. So coming out phase is an important phase. What I want to say is that for me, it started with like a few years back, maybe 2014-15. One of my friends, he came and asked me upfront, like, okay, this is the thing, and I think you're gay. And I did not expect that question at that time. And yeah, I was taken aback initially, but then I came out to him, and he made me understand, like, okay, it's okay to be gay. And that was my first coming out experience in front of a friend. Then it slowly happened with people, with colleagues, with family, with my cousins, my sisters. So yeah, so I realized one thing, that I used to fear is how people will react, whether people will accept me as who I am or not. And how will I how will things be after that. So what I realized it, or maybe I was lucky enough that I got people who understood me well. I was lucky enough to be in a family where my parents accepts me as who I am, where my friends have no problem whether I'm gay or straight. So yeah, I have always got positive reactions from people, but yeah, you don't always get positive reactions from everyone. So, but what I believe is that there are in your life, there will be 50% of people who won't accept who you are, who won't like how you carry yourself ahead or how you behave. So to me, they won't matter. The rest 50% of the people who loves me, who accepted me, are kind of my family. So yeah, it's like that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Have I not known you for 10 years, I would not take that introvert thing for you, because anyone who has known you, that you are one of a person who is like always full of life and the most extroverted person I would ever see. And yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
I
for
mean,
sharing
I
this.
used to be an introvert because when I was at school, when I was a kid, I was confused a lot, and I believe this happens with a lot of gay men and women, because they don't know who they are, they don't realize what's happening today at the in the age of internet, in the age of smartphones, in the age of in the world where we speak openly about being homosexuality, about homosexuality and all. People are more aware, kids today are more aware, but in our times it wasn't used to be so, and that was the thing which used to make me feel very uncomfortable, which used to make me doubt myself. So yeah, it was a phase. And
You have come a long way, I must say, and it was a really inspiring and touching story. Continuing with the interview, so you explained how things were different at that time. But what about the things now? While we are on the subject, could you explain the pride movement in India?
in India, movement, what we call, started I think in 1999. Kolkata Pride was the first Pride to be held in India,
Oh, that.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we have come a long way ahead. And today we have like Pride parades happening in almost like every city and town in during the Pride month. So it started in 2002 when the NAS Foundation petitioned the Delhi High Court to decriminalize homosexuality. And in 2009, actually, Delhi High Court decriminalized homosexuality for a small period of time until and unless it was reverted back by Supreme Court and sent into the parliament. But only in 2017, ultimately, the Supreme Court of India gave a verdict to decriminalize homosexuality. And since then, the movement have been, people have started coming out, people have started, opening up about being gay. And even we see that a lot of Bollywood have helped a lot as well. You have movies like Shubh Zada Savdhan, then
Yeah.
a few
I think it
movies which
started way back
depicted,
from that Kal Ho Na Ho character and then Karan Johar coming into play.
yeah, Karan Johar played a major role, but earlier Bollywood used to depict homosexuality in a sort of caricature in a form which was not always very pleasant. So it changed with, I would say, with Kapoor and Sons. It was a very good movie which depicted homosexual, the part of being gay as what it actually feels like when, when a man hides from his family about himself and he doesn't want to come out because he feels that his family won't accept him. So that's actually the reality. And the Pride movement in India had come a long way. Actually, to be an interesting fact about Pride is it did not start as a celebration, it started as a protest way
Mm-hmm.
back in 1970 in the United States when an incident occurred where, some, I think,
Stonewall Pride, 1969.
I don't remember the incident. It was some police action against homosexual gay club. So it
Mm-hmm.
started with that. The first Pride was held in 1970 in the United States, and from 1970 to 2019, 2020, we've gone a long way. And today, I think a lot of European countries, American countries have have marriage equality as well. In India, homosexuality is legal, and but we don't have marriage equality. So a gay man cannot get married to another man, or a girl cannot get married to another girl. So yeah, we still have a long way to go, a long way ahead
Mm-hmm.
before things can be normal. And till today, a lot of thing is still a taboo. Although people know what being homosexual is, but people are not ready to speak out in the open. There is a fear of coming out. There is a fear of uncertainty. There's a fear of losing out to the world if you come out. So yeah, that's the thing which we have a long way to go. And yeah, I hope it will change. But yeah, we've moved.
Wow, it's good to know that finally India is progressing towards a positive direction. And like you said, we have a long way to go, but the start has been made. So that was about India in general and about the world. But what about being gay in a non metro? Are there any special challenges and how do you manage those?
Mm, it is difficult, I would say, because although in the metros and big cities, people are more educated, they have a broader outlook, they see a lot of things. I mean, people travel a lot, but when you come to tier two, tier three cities, a lot of people are still, have a mindset which don't accept homosexuality as what it is, and its acceptance come later. I would like to say that people don't know what it is, and there's a lot of taboo even among the homosexual community about being open. People are afraid to come out. People think about society. People are ignorant, and they don't have an idea what it is. So, as a homosexual person in a tier 2, tier 3 city is difficult. Yes, it is very difficult. And if you want to live with a man and start a family in a tier 2, tier 3 city, it is definitely gonna be a tough task, because there are a lot of people who won't accept you as who you are. And when people don't accept you, people, say wrong things about you, or so it affects the mental health as well. So basically it's about uh, it's difficult, and that's the reason I would come to this, that is one of the reason why a lot of gay men and women suffer from mental disorders like anxiety, depression. I would say that there's a lot of suicidal rate among homosexual population is also very high, and this I would say is one of the reasons, as that they are not being able to come out to people, and people don't realize what it is, and people all today, still today, people see it as a taboo. I've lived in like cities like Kolkata, Vadodara, Mumbai, and now I'm in Ranchi. So
Mm-hmm.
I can see the difference between outlook of people when I am in Mumbai and Kolkata and when I am over here in Ranchi. Because like in Mumbai, in Calcutta, in metro cities, it's today it has become some sort of normal.
Mm-hmm.
If even if not normal, people have started accepting it, and people who don't accept, they mind their own business basically, which is not the case in small towns or tier 2, tier 3 cities. So yeah, that makes a lot of difference. I think things will change, hopefully, with the advent of internet, with movies and media. It's, yeah, people going to know, and when people know, they tend to understand slowly. So yeah, things, I think, I'm hopeful that things will change.
That was indeed insightful, and I hope this interaction and this interview of yours will give some hope to others who are not able to cope up with these problems, and should give them strength. I really hope so. Thank you, Suam, for that. Now, coming to the next section of our interview, the first question is, what's the best thing about being gay?
There's nothing called being it's a best thing or it's a worst thing. We are born the way we are, whether you're straight or gay. It's how you make your life to be which makes it good. So if you are a gay, and if you learn to accept it as early as possible, that okay, this is who I am and this is who I am supposed to be, then I
Uh-huh.
think that would be the best thing.
Wow. Next question, what is the best way to open up to your parents?
Okay, there is no such thing as this is the best way or that is the best way, because, well, it does not follow a set of rules. Each and every person reacts differently. Each and every person have a different sense of opinion. Each and every person has a different sense of understanding about what being gay is. So I guess it would be different for each and every person. Some, it would be difficult. There are cases where people don't accept. I have friends, I know people who came out to their family, and their family did not accept them. Their family, broke away all ties with them. But I've also seen people who have accepted their children as happily. So yeah, it's not the same always. But yeah, one major thing, one most important thing, what I would like to say is that while coming out, there's a big chance that the person who is sitting in front of you won't understand who you are, or who won't have the capacity to understand how you feel. So definitely, initially there will be a phase of denial there on their side, or there will be a phase when they won't understand. They will try to explain it to you or make you believe, okay, this is just a phase, so this will pass, and you know but I think we need to make them understand that, and make them understand. We need to educate them. That is more important. We need to educate people that okay, being gay is normal. It is not a disease. It is not a taboo. It is not something which can be changed. in a span of time. So if a person is gay, it's not that like if he marries a girl, he'll turn out to be straight or he'll manage. No, it becomes difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you push, the more difficult it becomes. So the best thing is to accept it. The best thing is to learn. And as a gay man, or I would suggest that if I'm coming out to someone, what I would do is I would it is not good that I should push
Mm-hmm.
something to someone. Okay, I have told you this is what it is, and if the person accepts, well and good. If he doesn't accept, then you know it's a long process of education. It's a long process of making them understand. It's a long process of making them realize that this is normal.
Good. Well explained, I would say. The third question: what is the best way to connect with others in non-metros?
You have a lot of apps today, dating
Okay.
apps. So that's a part of it in non-metros. Probably that's the only thing which helps you connect in tier 3 cities. So yeah, you have a lot of dating apps today available, like Grinder. There's Dude, a lot of things. So yeah, people connect.
Mm-hmm. Question number 4: what is one request you would like to make to our government in support of LGBTQ community?
The only request what I would say is treat people as equal. You know, homosexual population is a big chunk of population. Although people don't come out, a lot of people don't come out, but there are about probably a survey says that 10% or 12% of or even more than Indian population is gay. So one thing I would like to say is until unless you don't discriminate, people won't be who they are and it will make their lives unhappy. So
Wow.
it should start with ending of discrimination.
Okay. And the last question: what do you want to say to Bollywood, which pioneers in creating awareness about homosexuality in India?
Do the good job which you are doing, and yeah, sometimes Bollywood tries to portray homosexuality as very feminine or with contempt. So I would say that should stop and yeah, make movies about gay men and women in India, educate the people because Bollywood is probably one of the very big major source of education along with entertainment as well, movies. So
Wow.
yeah, people will learn, people will know things, and that's how slowly they'll learn to accept. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Suvam, for this eye-opening session. In the end, I would like to leave our viewers with few lines from the landmark judgment of Supreme Court of India. It says, the natural identity of an individual should be treated to be absolutely essential to his being. What nature gives is natural. That is called nature within. Thus, that part of the personality of a person has to be respected and not despised or looked down upon. Thank you.